Hi, so this is going to be, I guess, a fairly brief video. So for those of you who read my title, I will be turning 50 next month. In actually a couple of weeks, it will be on June 9th. And to do that, I want to start a new series. So I'm thinking of doing a series called something along the lines of the 50 albums that shaped my musical journey, or I might come up with a catchier title in the meantime, but that's kind of the working title right now. So the way I want to do it is to divide up the videos. So I will be like 50 to 45. I'll do them in fives, 45 to 40 and so on. This way I can make like a 7 or 8 minute video every day and talk about 5 albums. Now, these albums will be based on albums that basically I've owned throughout my life. So if I'm turning 50, I started listening to music when I was 10, let's say. So it's going to be basically 40 years worth of music. So what is this going to consist of? So basically, when I was around, 10 years old, I used to listen to a lot of records. I listened to a lot of classic rock. So this is probably going to be some like Led Zeppelin, some Pink Floyd, maybe some Beatles. A lot of classic rock, while I was growing up. Now, I didn't really get into heavy metal until I became around 16 or 17. So you're going to also see a lot of those late 80s bands. And some of those like late 80s, like I guess you can call them hair metal bands, kind of was like a springboard for like some of the heavier stuff. So I'll be talking about some thrash metal also. So basically I grew up on Long Island until I was 18. I went away to college and then I lived in Poughkeepsie, New York for about 5 years. So during the early 90s, I listened to a lot of grunge, a lot of metal, a lot of alternative rock. So for that early 90s period, you'll be seeing a lot of those records on my list. After that, I moved back to Long Island, and then shortly after into New York City when I first started working. And again, I used to like ride the subway. I used to carry a Walkman, so I used to like buy a lot of cassettes in like the mid 90s to late 90s. And again, a lot of alternative rock, things like that. In the late 90s, I moved to Mexico City to get married for the first time. And I was only there for a year and a half. In Mexico City, my first daughter was born in the year 2000. About a couple months after she was born, we moved back to Long Island. Then about a year later, my second daughter was born. During that time, I listened to a lot of 2000s rock, new metal. So I was really into that genre of music during that period of time. And I lived on Long Island for the next, it would be, I guess, the next 10 years. Now, by 2010 came around, that marriage was pretty much time to come to a close. And my ex-wife wanted to move back to Mexico, and basically I was faced with a decision of resisting or just agreeing to go, but it was really important to me because it was the only way to guarantee to keep my daughters in my life. So I moved to Mexico in 2010, and I've been living in Mexico City since then. And since then, I've been listening to a lot of music. So basically, when I moved to Mexico City this last time, I basically left a lot behind. I had an entire crate of cassettes that I left behind. I had a bunch of CDs, but I basically took out all the jewel cases and I had to toss them out. And I have a lot of my CDs here, but they are outside of the jewel cases. So I have that here. But most of the music that I've owned over the years has basically like disappeared in some way or another. So I won't be actually showing physical copies. I'll probably be doing what I always do with the video editor. I just like throw the album on the screen and I'll talk about it. But I want to make this like a personal series. So hopefully I can start that maybe after this weekend or maybe this week, and actually still need to compile this list. So again, it will be albums that I've purchased. I'm not going to be including any albums that I've listened to a lot, like through streaming sites And I've only been streaming for maybe 5 years or so. Anyway, so this will be a basic compilation of my musical journey, you know, from when I was young until now. And hopefully you'll all enjoy watching this video, or my videos. Hopefully I'll put out 10 videos. And I want to finish with a countdown sometime around my 50th birthday. So I'm really excited to turn 50. I know I'll be joining a bunch of other guys who are in their 50s, who are in the VC. I won't mention your names, but you know who you are. So I'm really excited for this new stage in life. And basically really happy. I will be continue living in Mexico. When I was in Mexico, I met my wife Elizabeth in 2011, and we have 2 kids of our own. So they are young. They're both under 10 years old. There's a boy and a girl. So that's basically my life now, and I've been doing YouTube for about 7 or 8 months now. I really enjoy it. I just will probably do it like forever, for as long as I can. And that is it. So thank you for watching, and hopefully I will start my video series soon of my top 50 albums that have shaped my musical journey or something like that. I'll come up with a name. Thanks for watching. That's all for today, and I'll be back tomorrow with, I think there are some new releases. So that's it. I'll see you later.